Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
Although we don't really talk about baseball much on this podcast, we wanted to talk about the biggest event in baseball, which is, of course, the World Series, which ended a couple days ago. For those of you that don't know, the Dodgers beat the Rays in 6 games, and Corey Seager won the World Series MVP because he played pretty damn good in the series. Jacob, what were your thoughts?
Great series. The Dodgers just played great pretty much almost every single game. I mean, they had some slip ups in those two games, but they were able to pull through in the end. Mookie Betts played great. Corey Seager, as you said, Clayton Kershaw. They all were just able to show out just the whole series as a whole. And it was a great win. And it was not only was it good for the Dodgers, it was great for LA as a whole
Yep.
because I think it's a great way to tribute Kobe. They have the Lakers winning, now the Dodgers winning, and currently LA is the best city in the US for sports.
You
I
sure
mean,
it's not New York?
yeah, maybe New York, maybe New York. But
Yeah, James Dolan.
yeah, the Giants, Dave
Yeah.
Gettleman, they're so good.
The
Ad-
Jets.
Adam Gase, thank you.
Let's go.
God, these New York teams got to pull through.
Yeah, they got to get out of here.
Yeah, but going back to LA, just I mean, there's not much to say. They were great the whole series.
Yeah, they were the better team, and obviously, like you said, they have slip-ups, but nobody's ever perfect. No one is ever perfect in the baseball series, ever, unless you sweep.
Yeah. The one thing though that I wanted to talk about, which
I
I
think I know
mean,
what you want to talk about.
yeah, it was a bit questionable, was Justin Turner in the last game. If you guys didn't know, Justin Turner, who plays for the Dodgers, in the last game of the series, right before they actually won the World Series, Justin Turner got tested positive for the coronavirus, and then once they won, he was going out on the field. He was hanging out with his teammates, hugging them, taking pictures, all without a mask. And um, I mean, he was seen hugging and kissing his wife, but that's his wife, so that
Yeah.
makes sense, obviously. But I mean, there's some speculation, and some people are thinking that Justin Turner deserves a punishment for this, as he potentially risked his teammates getting COVID-19. Because that, I mean, it just wasn't safe. It was, I get why he did it, but it wasn't safe. So, do you think that he should be punished for what he did?
Well, he should be punished. I think that he should have been. Well, you said he wasn't wearing a mask. He should have been wearing a mask. And an article says from New York Times that the MLB says that he refused to stay off the field after they won. I understand that he was really excited that they won the World Series because it's your career and you win something that you've been coveting for your entire life. But you, if he had a mask on, I think this would be a much different story.
Well, yeah. I
Like,
mean, here's the thing, he was going out there with a mask, but then they went to, like, take photos and they were hanging out, and then he took off the mask.
he should have
So,
kept it on.
yeah, like, it's one thing if you don't have it, but it's a completely different other thing if you do have it, and he had it, right? So, yeah, you're right. He should be punished. He should be suspended for a couple games, possibly longer. The rest for
Well, I don't know about suspending. I think that if people get positive tests on the Dodgers, I think then he should be suspended. I think he should get a
yeah.
fine though.
Yeah, it depends mostly on that, the severity of the punishment, right? But I still think he should be suspended, no matter if they get it or not. I think it just depends on how if any of the Dodgers get it, right? If a couple of them get it, a longer suspension. If not a lot, maybe a shorter suspension. But I think it should still be something because he risked the lives of his coaches, his teammates, all the people that were around him at that game, right? So I just think it was not safe at all, and it was unprofessional.
Yes, it was definitely unprofessional. Let's go on to another topic, and I'm kind of excited for this topic. Should the Steelers be taken as a serious championship contender? What do you think?
That's a good one, and that is a 100%. You kidding me?
Yes, sir.
They arguably have the best defense in the league. Oh my god, they're 6-0. They beat the Titans last weekend. They're the only undefeated team left. They've been just tremendous on both ends of the field, offense and defense. We've seen Ben Roethlisberger come back from that injury and just kill it again and again with all of his wide receivers.
You
I
got
mean,
James Conner too.
and healthy James Conner, which is scary for other teams, right? So if you got that offense going, let's take a look at their defense. Their rushing defense, they're top. They have the best rushing defense in the league. The passing defense is about average. It's not great, but it's not terrible, but it's still a stellar defense overall, and it's
Really?
still a top 3 defense, which I expected them to do well. I just did not expect them to do this well because some defenses I thought would do better. The 49ers, obviously, but that's because of injuries. The Patriots, I thought would potentially do better, but again, not seeing them do as well.
It's rough.
But so the question was if they should be taken as championship contenders. Absolutely. Right?
Serious championship contenders?
Absolutely.
I think so too. I think that there are a certain amount of teams that are championship contenders, but there's obviously top tier.
Mhm.
I put them at the top tier.
Yes.
I don't really know who I would put with them. I probably put the Chiefs with them, but I honestly don't know what else.
I mean, top tier is, I think it should be Chiefs, Steelers, and Packers, right? I think out of the NFC, it's going to be it's definitely going to be either Packers or Seahawks, right? That's a definite, right? But the AFC is a bit trickier, right? Because you have the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers, and then you got the Titans, who are very underrated this season.
Yeah, the Titans are really good.
Derrick Henry is nuts. He is nuts.
It's ridiculous. You have probably the 2 wild cards. My bet are the Colts and the Ravens, and those are two teams worthy of winning their divisions. The Ravens are still ridiculous. They have Lamar Jackson. They have a ridiculous defense also.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the AFC, yeah, you're right. The AFC is trickier because for me, I think the only team I feel like the only 2 teams, the Bills and the Colts, I think those are the teams that I have least concerned about.
Yes, especially now after last week and once the Bills played the Jets, because what happened?
That was sad.
That was an abomination. I mean, I know they won, but I expected them to win by a lot more. I mean, you got Josh Allen, who people were talking about him being MVP,
and then he just went to average.
Yeah, what?
Very quickly. Very sad.
He was a top 5, top 3 quarterback going into this week. No, going into last week. He's definitely top 10 still, but possibly top 5. I don't know. I mean, but
Not
with
top 5. No way.
I mean, I don't know, but with the Colts you were talking about also, I don't have them. Yeah, I don't have them as serious contenders at all. I don't really have them as
no. It's like the teams that obviously
that they're underrated.
I'm talking about the teams that I think will make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, possibly, but the thing is, I don't really have faith in Phillip Rivers.
I completely agree with you. I think Phillip Rivers, he's old. He's not clutch at all.
He is oh my god, he's terrible in the fourth quarter. He's terrible.
Yeah, he also throws too many interceptions, like I said.
Watching the Colts games when they're close in the fourth quarter, you just know what's going to happen. The Colts will get a good run. They'll get to the red zone and interception.
Rivers will chuck up a brick.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what I mean, an interception. A pick, not a brick.
Yeah. He's not Russell.
I still got NBA stuck in my head.
He's not Russell Westbrook.
Gosh. Speaking of Russell Westbrook, another one that I'm a little excited about compared to the NBA news.
Mm-hmm.
Daryl Morey to the 76ers.
That I think that'll help them.
I
Right.
think it'll definitely help them.
Hmm.
He's a phenomenal GM, and he made that trade for Russell Westbrook. Whether you like it or not, I still think that was a good trade.
I
He's
disagree.
very smart. He's got a good IQ.
I'd rather have Chris Paul still. I think if Chris Paul,
Well, you can't really say that. Well, no, you can, but
if Chris
but
Paul was on,
look at
hold on,
what
hold on.
happened.
If
You think
Chris,
about no. Think about this. You're thinking in off season. You're not thinking about what Chris Paul could be. You're thinking about what you think Chris Paul will be. People were thinking the Thunder were going to be 14th seed.
exactly, and look how well he did.
Yeah,
Right? So but listen,
but
listen. If Chris Paul, I'm saying if Chris Paul was on the Rockets this year, if the Rockets never made that Russell Westbrook Chris Paul trade, I'd take the Rockets much more seriously than I did. Because I didn't take them seriously. You know why? Because we've seen Russell Westbrook in the playoffs and he has not been good in the past couple of years, right? James Harden, he's been good,
he
but
was good
not
this playoffs. He was
he
good
was
this
good this
playoffs.
playoffs. I'll say he's been good this playoffs, but going into it, I did not have confidence in him either. So all around, and they didn't have a big man either. I mean, I know they were able to do well. Um, Mike D'Antoni was able to coach the hell out of that team to try and get them to get those boards against when they were playing the Lakers and then the Thunder, but they didn't have Clint Capella this year. So going into this year, I didn't have much confidence in them. But if Chris Paul was on that team, oh my God, are you kidding me? He's an incredible leader. He his injury in the 2019 playoffs,
2018.
2019,
2018.
2019.
2018 was the year that they lost to the Golden State Warriors. That
No,
was the same year that LeBron got swept.
I'm talking.
2018.
Yes, sorry. You're right. 2018. That I'm sorry. I had a brain fart.
You're all right, boy.
But if Chris Paul didn't get injured that series, I think they would have beat the Warriors.
Yeah, they would have won in
Exactly.
6 games, I think.
Exactly. So I think personally, I think it was a bad trade, but for Daryl Morey as a GM and for him going to the 76ers, that's going to help them. That's going to definitely make them championship contenders. Because it's not just that their team hasn't been working. There's been like they've had the components of a championship team. Just they haven't been able to work it out. The
Yeah.
coaching hasn't been great. The front office hasn't been great, but now they got it. They got the GM, got to get the coach. But what what are some moves that you would like to see Daryl Morey do once he is?
You know what I want to
Yeah.
see?
Mm.
I want to see James Harden go to the Philadelphia 76ers. When I saw
That
that
would
on
be funny.
YouTube and when I saw
Well,
Stephen A. Smith say he wants to see James Harden on the 76ers,
well,
that would make them I think that would put them over probably the Bucks in my opinion.
well. That means they would probably have to give up Joel Embiid, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But
you'd have a potential starting lineup of they'd probably want something else. Well, the first thing is the Rockets said that they are 100% not trading James Harden. They are trying to build a team around James Harden,
well,
which
yeah, but this is what I think they should do. This is what I think Philly should try and do.
yeah.
Even if it doesn't work out, they should still try and do it.
I mean, yeah, they should. Obviously, there've been talks about it, but I think they just I don't think they want to move Joel Embiid. I think if they
No,
want to do something, they should.
he's an incredibly talented young
Yeah,
man
I think
who likes to drink Shirley Temples and eats a lot of chicken fingers.
just you. He's just an NBA version of you.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, I think what the 76ers should do and what Daryl Morey should do when he's there, he's going to be there for 5 years, right? They should build a team around Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons is one of the best defensive guards in the league right now.
I think
And
he is the best defensive guard in the league.
I'd probably have to think about it, but honestly, off the top of my head, yeah, he's been the best defensive guard this season, 100%. And Joel Embiid is a beast all around. He can do everything, right?
Man, he's really
So
good.
obviously, when he's healthy, he's a competitor for being the best center. I still think it's Jokic right now, but he
Yes.
definitely is a competitor against Jokic.
Also because of Jokic's ability to elevate in the playoffs.
Yes,
But
yes,
Joel Embiid he gets a little worse in the playoffs. you can clearly see Jokic elevating his game. It's absolutely ridiculous. Jokic jumps up like 5 points per game.
I mean, I think this playoffs also, I don't think it was really Joel Embiid's fault at all. It was A, bad coaching, B, Ben Simmons was injured, and
Yeah.
C, Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, and Al Horford all did terrible.
Yep. Al Horford shocked me. He's usually good in the playoffs, but he was
Tobias Harris shocked me the most.
Tobias Harris was terrible.
He was god awful.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I was gonna say. The first thing Daryl Morey should do, try and trade Tobias Harris.
Yeah,
He
I
has a
think
huge contract.
he's good on offense, not in the playoffs. You need another reliable scorer.
You need a shooter. You need a better shooter like Tobias Harris.
Yeah. He's a good shooter,
Someone,
but you need better in the playoffs.
honestly, someone like Danilo Gallinari,
Danilo Gallinari he's pretty good.
right? He's
Yeah.
great in the regular season and the postseason,
Yeah.
and he's a great shooter and a
Yeah,
great
he's
scorer.
really good.
I think that's something that would help the 76ers, but that's just one move. But I mean, I also think they should move Al Horford. I I really just I know you were telling me this season, oh, he's good. The 76ers could use him, but do they? Is he good? I mean,
He's a good stretch four.
he's okay.
He knows how to shoot it. He's good all around. Don't forget, Al Horford was an All-Star a couple years ago,
Yeah, I know, but
so he's not completely off the radar.
he's not off the radar, but he's not at that level anymore, not
No.
even close.
But he's still he's a good starter. I still think. How old is Al Horford? He's probably in his 30s.
Getting there, but I mean, I don't know. His just with that contract and all the money he's getting
34.
paid. He's 34, yeah.
He was
Gonna get
33.
worse. He's not getting any better.
No.
So they should try and get something, or honestly, try and trade down. Try and get a better big man to accompany Joel Embiid.
Yeah, someone like a Dario Saric would be nice. I don't know why they trade to get Jimmy
Yeah.
Butler, I believe.
Well, yeah, but now he's on the Suns, and I think
Yeah.
yeah,
I think that they need another stretch four.
Yeah.
Need more shooting.
a younger one.
Yeah, they need to they really need to make up for the fact that Ben Simmons can't shoot.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm
mean-
sorry. The fact that he doesn't shoot at all. He can make them. He
Hey,
made those 3 threes.
yeah. Come on, you got to give the man some credit. He made those amazing threes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's. I still think Ben Simmons is one of the best point guards. I know when I've talked to some people, they don't even have him in the top 10, which I think is crazy
The
because
fact that he can't shoot really changes people's minds about him.
it does change it.
But he's so good at everything else.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the only thing he can't do. He can't shoot. That's literally it.
Exactly. He's the best defensive guard. He's a great scorer, rebounder, passer. He could do everything. He's a mini LeBron, except slightly better defense and much worse 3-point shot. Right?
Yep.
I mean,
And no mid range too. That also is a factor.
just no shooting at all. Just nothing. He's just inside scoring. But I mean, they really have a chance next year if they can do the right things in this offseason. They have a chance at honestly making it to the chip, but probably won't happen because of KD and Kyrie, who are probably going to go off.
I think KD and I honestly don't care about the torn Achilles. I think KD is still going to be ridiculous.
I think
You
he'll
don't
be
lose your
really
ability
good.
to shoot.
What?
You never lose your ability to shoot. That's what makes it
Yes.
for me.
Yeah. The one thing I'm worried will happen, which I really hope won't happen, is Kyrie will mess things up in the locker room.
I hope not. Nah, I think KD's a good leader. I think that he'll be the one standing up in the locker room, not Kyrie.
I think he will also, yeah, but I don't know. I just don't want to let Kyrie ruin it because I really want to see a Nets and Lakers series.
I'd love to see that.
Kyrie against LeBron.
I still think that the Nets would take that.
I wouldn't because of them on the defensive end because they really don't have much on the defensive end.
They have good interior.
Jared Allen,
Yeah.
maybe, but that's it. Right? I mean, well, KD, but we'll see how he is, right?
KD's a good defender, yeah.
Yeah, but it's an ACL.
We also have Jared Allen who can block.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And then I think they need to pick up some perimeter defenders on the guards end.
Yeah.
Like, maybe instead of Joe Harris, put Joe Harris on the bench, maybe get a good perimeter defender. Maybe someone like a Norman Powell or someone like a Toronto Raptors guard that can shoot and play defense.
Yeah. I mean, they need that.
Yeah,
They
they
need
definitely do.
that's the one thing why I would probably still take Lakers, not being biased, like 100%. It's mostly because the Lakers have it on offensive and defensive, and the Nets just have it on offensive right now. I mean, it's really going to depend on how KD can do, because that injury, it changes players. It's known to change players after it, right?
Yep.
So,
Well, also we got to check John Wall's progress when he comes back.
oh yeah, that's right.
I'm really excited to see him play because he was one of the most gifted athletic point guards and tore his Achilles 2 times.
Yeah, he's one of the fastest of all time.
Yep.
He's nuts. All right, let's move on to the last topic of the day, which is the Rockets hiring their new head coach, Steven Silas, who was the Mavericks assistant coach. Thoughts?
I'm a little disappointed. I feel like they should have gone for Jeff Van Gundy. I think that because of his experience, he would have been able to do it better, and also he's more old-fashioned. So I think that suits the Rockets well. I'm hoping that Steven Silas gets rid of small ball. He gets some centers. You get the mid-range shot back. If you get that mid-range shot back, I can see the Rockets getting better. I don't know why D'Antoni never wanted them to shoot middies, but
Because you have James Harden. He just doesn't shoot mid-ranges.
no, he did. And then D'Antoni told him to stop. And then doesn't shoot him anymore. No one shot mid-ranges. Did you see them giving up a wide open mid-range shots for threes? And they gripped the threes? That was the
those
most
27
things I've ever seen in the NBA.
those 27 missed threes.
Well, that too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right about Jeff Van Gundy, but another coach I would have really liked to see is Nate McMillan,
Oh,
because
I forgot about Nate McMillan, yeah.
he's a really good coach, and I think the Pacers firing him was a very dumb idea because he's not the reason that they are not having much success.
Yep.
It's the
It was
play.
Jimmy Butler.
It's Jimmy Butler. They're just nuts, but also it's just the players. They don't have enough.
They don't have killers.
What?
They don't have killers.
No, they have a great supporting cast. They need that one guy. They need that one guy that can just take over for them, and they just don't have that. They just need some top guy, which they could hopefully get in the offseason, get something. But I think if Nate McMillan was going to the Rockets, that would have also been better. But we'll see how Steven Silas does, because, like you said, if hopefully he doesn't run the small ball.
Silas.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't run the small ball.
Yeah. I hope so.
And if he does, it's gonna fail again and again. Right. So I mean that's really the only thing that's not working for them
Yep. Yeah.
is that system. But
They need to change their play style.
they do.
Going well in the regular season, but it got a lot worse.
Yeah, it was known. And I mean, because against the Lakers, right? PJ Tucker, I will give him the man some credit. He did well on the defensive end and the rebounding and all that stuff. He did really well on that, but it wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
It really wasn't. They should not have given Clint Capella away.
No,
They should not.
Yeah,
No,
it's disappointing.
They need a rebounding guy, whether it's someone like Clint Capella, DeAndre Ayton, Steven Adams, something like that they could get, right? So, I mean, we'll see how they play. I think if they don't play small ball, much better chance at succeeding,
Yep.
doing something. All right, that's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what you thought about the World Series and the rest of the topics we talked about.
Tune into the next episode on Monday. See you guys next time.
Peace.